It'll probably block the mace if we threw it. Continue charging. With inertia on your side, you charge forward like a stone from a catapult. The scrag painfully launches itself off your shoulder, lands on the ground, leaping up, latching onto the crotch of the now unlucky minion of Thog, right behind the little demon. And since the cloaked monster is grasping the head of the scrag, you have an open shot. You swing your mace down, clutching. Oh, I thought I would swing it like a bat or something, like a baseball bat, but I guess not. Swing your mace down, crutching, because that would have given us a lot more momentum. I don't know why we went for an uphead swing, but okay. You swing your mace down, crutching into the shaved head, splattering gore. The man falls to the floor, rolls onto his back, his large eyes rolling. You cave at his face. His large eyes rolling, like in his head or the outside his head, or rolling on the floor. And you cave in his head? You cave in his head. Okay. Like inward dentation sort of thing. The angry roaring you heard earlier is getting very loud now. You're about to turn to run, but stop. The little demon is handy in a scrape, you think. The little demon still has his face buried in the crotch of the corpse on the ground, spitting out links of chainmail between bites. There will be plenty more of that food later, you think. Maybe best I leave him after all, you think. The shadow falls upon you. A giant man covered. Wait, what? So I was talking to the demon and this guy just snuck up on us? Oh, he's not on us, I guess. Shadow falls upon you. A giant man covered in horns, twice as tall as a man, stoops down into the hall. Wait, what? Twice as tall as a man. So, what does that mean? These are medieval times, right? So I'm gonna guess that the average height of men is about 5 feet. So I'm gonna go that guy is like anywhere from like 9 to 10 feet tall. I'm just gonna go with that, I guess, because the older times I do believe humans were shorter. So if I compare it to Earth, it should be like that as well. Otherwise I would have gone with 12 feet at least. But regardless, tall as a man, stoops down under the whole arc as he steps on. Why is it written like this, man? Why is it's like every single line is written in an absolute complexity? Stoops down under the hall arc as he steps into the hall. Like, is that a necessary thing to say? His face is like a red-dyed meat stretched taut over bone. Stretched taut over bone? Okay, it's like stretched meat, I'm guessing. He opens a fanged mouth, lets out a now familiar roar. Hanging from the horns all over his body are scrags. They scream out. One of them points a claw at the scrag feasting on the corpse, like an angry father. The giant of a monster shouts words in his terrible language. Your scrag looks up from the corpse. Your small body begins to tremble. You turn and run. Good choice. You run through the dim corridors up a flight of stairs. Exhausted, you stop to catch your breath. There is no sound from the horned monster. Is there no way out of this cursed place, you think? The temple of Thog appeared large from outside, but this is ridiculous. Some devil magic, you think? Illusions or a world within a world? Egra, you wheeze. And then take a deep breath. If they find us, they will melt you in that unholy fire beneath the likeness of the god. You clutch the amulet around your neck. Wait, hold on. I have a question. Is Egra literally inside the amulet? Like, is Egra in the amulet? I obviously know that she's connected to the amulet, but I thought that she was with her father and she was only connecting her like mind to the amulet so that she can play around in the lower world. So that she's actually here for some mission or something. Is she actually here for a mission, or is she here to just fuck around? Because that's a little bit weird that she would put her life on the line just to fuck around a bit. That's absurd. There is no response for Egra. In fact, all is quiet except for some distant clanking. Distant is good. At least you do not hear the bellowing of that horned horror from earlier. Or maybe you should not have run away from him after all. Did he mean you harm? Maybe he would have let you ride on his shoulders like the troops of Skags. No, you think. The monster radiated fear like a bonfire radiates heat. Not even if you were drunk as a satyr could I ride upon that. As you rest and ponder your next move, you hear a voice echo from not far off. Where are you leading me, man? Says the voice. Bonebrow, you think? It could be. The front gates will be guarded. comes the bone brow's voice again, this time lower. Okay, I know a secret passageway out, says another voice. I used it to get in. This other voice is strangely familiar. We can't quite place it. Is it Gookog? No, it should not be Gookog. He can't really speak in sentences properly. Following the voices, you hurry up the stairs, down up onto a banister that overlooks a chamber about 10 meters below. Bonebrow is standing down there, illuminated by torches and scones nearby. He has a flail in one hand and a shield in the other. His soaked clothing is dripping. Another man stands a few meters below, beckoning to Bonebrow to follow. This man has long hair slicked down and dripping. His trousers are soaked and he's shirtless. You squint at his strikingly handsome face and lean forward, not believing your eyes. This man is you. If you know a better exit, tell me. Oh, it's the woman. She took his form. If you know a better exit, tell me. The other you say. Otherwise, follow me. I sound like that? You wonder? You don't think so? How can Bonebrow, the captain of a guard, be fooled by such a poor imitation? The likeness of you is perfect. Even the new scar on the side of your abdomen from that one nasty rat bite is spot on. Blood trickles down from the leg of this imposter. Priestess, you realize. Melith said that she would take your visage. The blood must have been from where the scrag had bitten her earlier. Right. No pendant around her neck, you realize. Not quite a perfect disguise then. The Bonebrow shrugs and begins to follow the imposter. You could follow them to see what happens. However, it will take some time to get down from there. You could lose them. Plus, what if she's leading Bonebrow into a trap? Bonebrow might not have much time to live. Perhaps now is the time to interfere with the imposter's plan. I think I should shout at them as well. I don't think it's a good idea to follow them, because if we are down there, he has to make a choice in a congested area. That would be bad. Shout at them. Bonebrow, beware the imposter, you shout. Melith looks up at you. The sight of your own face staring at you in an expression of rage makes you look away. Bonebrow is staring too. Lie, shouts Melith. That is the imposter's. Where is your amulet, you shout. You ask. An amulet just like the one you're wearing shimmers into existence around Melith's neck below. Melith tries to correct a mistake, but it's too late. Imposter, shouts Bonebrow, and he charges. You consider jumping down from the balcony to aid Bonebrow, but decides it's not worth it. Bonebrow has his warning, and he is a well-trained soldier. Hopefully he can handle himself for a few seconds. You sprint down the stairway and find the portal back. Portal back? Fucking portal? What portal back? Why would you say portal back around to the chamber? It sounds weird. It sounds like you're literally talking about portals, considering they are a thing in this game. Well, they were a thing in the last game, so I'm thinking they are in this one as well. By the time you arrive, Bonebrow is standing over the twitching body of Melith. Evidently, he has resumed her native shape. She has resumed her native shape in death. Her eyes are staring. Bonebrow's veil drips with blood. I thought we had to help him, but he kind of fucking bashed a skull in. Fucking hell. We had better be on our way, you say. Bonebrow stares at you suspiciously. Do you think I'm an imposter too? You ask. His eyes set on the amulet around your neck. Got your holy symbol back, I see, he says, ignoring your question. I would not have thought you a servant of Aletheia. Without thinking, you grasp the amulet defensively. His eyes linger on the amulet. Does he know? You wonder. You question Bonebrow's... what? Does he know? You wonder. You remember Bonebrow questioning prostitute Mala about an object belonging to the priest of Aletheia back in the inn. I thank you for the aid, says Bonebrow. Now looking you and licking you in the eye. No doubt the priestess meant to cut my throat. I could not let the captain of the guard perish, you say with a smile. If we get out of here, I expect a full investigation for you and your men. Tentacle monsters, demons and shape-shifting women are out of line even for the outer ring. In the distance you hear the distant echo of booted footsteps, and further down the barking of dogs. Best we move on. So are we gonna go into that little chamber she was pointing us to, or where are we going? Didn't even give us an option. You point to one of the several exits from the chamber. This way appears dim and less traveled. Let us hope our enemies have no love for it. Bonebrow readies his bloody flail and takes the lead. The direction is indeed darker and appears to be less used than other areas you have been in. I have noticed something, that the way they did it is very different, because in the first game, the first chapter, I don't want to go too much into spoilers, but I'm expecting that you guys have seen the Wizard's Choice before you came here to watch a Rogue's Choice. But there was like a whole sequence where we enter a forest, then we enter a castle, and then we get out of the castle into another forest. Then we go into another altar area where we fight a bunch of priests and stuff. So that whole sequence is like one chapter. And just think that if the forest, the temple, and the whole passageway and the altar were like separate chapters, like 3 chapters separately. That's how this story is. So they have put so much content into singular areas, which is great, by the way. It's preferable that way, because it allows me to immerse into the game's world, to understand the lore and everything. Because when you move through an area and just like fast move, when stories do that, it's okay. Sometimes it's fun to do a fast-paced thing, but sometimes you lose out on the terror of these things, because like the goblins, right? The goblins, when I heard about them, I was like, I mean, they're annoying, they're really dangerous too, and this and that. But when we were growing through the whole sewer, that's when you realize how much of a danger you're in, because slowly and steadily the danger builds up and up. There's like more monsters, different things coming at your fucking neck again and again and again and again, and you're completely stuck, honestly. And that's the whole sewer part made the whole thing like so difficult to come out of the fucking sewer. And that adds to the horror that we have to face. So we can I don't really put myself into the protagonist's shoes, as I've said before, but it allows me as a spectator to understand what the character is going through, so that I can take appropriate actions. And it also allows me to immerse into the story and truly enjoy it, instead of running through segments. So this way that they are doing this for a whole castle, a whole chapter for a castle, probably 2 chapters. Yeah, we entered in the last chapter, so there's a whole lot of shit going on, and it's great. Let's see where we were. This direction is indeed darker and appears to be less used than the other areas you've been in. The strange noises like the shuffling of feet and grasping breath in the dark. In several places, you and Bonebrow are forced to feel your way around blind passages. He leads choosing paths with the most light and stairs that lead up. You both agree that you are underground, and up is generally the best. Oh, we are not even out. I thought we were on the the first, second floor, maybe. Yeah, first or second floor, or maybe the ground floor or something. But we're not even out yet. You both agree that you are underground, and up is generally the best direction. Despite the odd sounds, you meet no one else in the dark labyrinth beneath Thog's temple. What do you know about what happened down there? With the earth trembling and the scrags aiding us, Bonebrow whispers, "What? You feign ignorance." Bonebrow sighs. "I only ask because we may need such aid again before the night is through. The gods favor us," you say with a shrug. "Exactly which gods favor us with scrags?" says Bonebrow, his voice raising above a whisper. "Not Aletheia, that much I know." He points at your amulet. "She would not summon fiends." You peer into the gloomy hall ahead. "How should I know what god? An enemy of Thog, I wager?" Bonebrow chuckles. "Can't imagine that." Narrows down the list of candidates. "And don't say his name. When in his house, we would not want to attract his attention." Right. Wait, so he said can't imagine that. Narrows down the list of candidates. So I guess Thog is very powerful. Or Thog has a lot of influence. That's why not the other gods are not fucking around with him. Also, I do believe Ohur is not as OP. I do believe Ohur has some troubles or something. They did hint at it. Ohur is not on the same level as this guy, Thog. I think. I'm not too sure, but I think Thog is a little bit on the higher end with this. Bonebrow's sense of direction must be better than yours. Within minutes, the two of you mount a stone stairs to a broad chamber with windows that look out over the dimly lit courtyard of the temple. You hurry to the arrow slit and peer out. The first tinge of pre-dawn grey covers the sky. The stars are dimming. It will be morning soon, you tell Bonebrow. You think the followers of Thog sleep during the day? They must sleep sometime, you point out. He grunts. "Probably hang from the ceiling like bats." He jests, but you glance up to the roof all the same. The stone joists are free of hooded figures, thankfully. I don't suppose you could fit through one of those windows, you say, looking over Bonebrow's massive frames. He shakes his head. Even if we find a proper window, we haven't a rope or wings. You consider it. Consider this. You might be able to leap far enough to catch the edge of the neighboring roof, but Bonebrow probably couldn't. Doubtfully shares your experience scampering over roofs since childhood.